Over the course of this semester, we've explored a variety of topics and ways that media influences us in this day and age, and increasingly so, as media plays a stronger role in society. One I'd like to discuss in particular today is violence in the media. Violence in the media has a variety of effects on viewers, from encouraging violent behavior in adolescents to copycatting suicides, mass shootings, or other reckless behavior glorified in the media. Exposure to violence in media can desensitize viewers, making them, as described in lectures, numb to violence in real life so that they don't react to it as if they had never seen it on the screen. Some professions use this to their advantage in training, such as doctors with exposure to blood, military and police officers with their daily exposure to violence. They learn the impacts of their needed violent responses to violent situations, so they behave responsibly and do not freeze up in tense situations. As audiences are desensitized increasingly with every exposure to violence, shows and films including violence must increase their violent content and extremity thereof to have the same impact and adrenaline that audiences were met with in the first film or episode. This effect is called the sequel effect. Once the bar is set for the first film of a series or episode, the creators must meet that level and make it even more so to prevent the audiences from becoming passive and losing audience retention. The content I've chosen to analyze with the sequel effect in mind is the Harry Potter film series.
No. Harry Potter!
Come on, Harry.
Something to note before I go into my method of analysis and findings is that this series is one that grows with its audience. This series was designed for children at the start around the age of Harry Potter and matured with its audience naturally according to the sequel's releases. This just means that it had a stronger impact on those watching the films as they were released than those binging the films today. To prove the sequel effect in this series, I developed a coding system, counting the different spells casted in each Harry Potter movies that resulted in violence. This gives an accurate read of how much violence was in each movie. As seen here, only 5 different spells were casted in the first movie, resulting in violence, while 8, 5, 11, 10, 14, 16, and 12 different spells were casted in the movies following. Some of them only being casted in one movie, resulting in varying levels, but still resulting in a fairly steady increase of violence throughout the movies. Some of the spells are stronger in extremity than others, as they have strong results like Avada Kedavra, which results in death. This particular spell was shown from the start and throughout the series, but most explicitly shown in the 4th film and the following films for a more mature audience.
Avada Kedavra!
The first 2 films showed this spell more as a flashback and could be considered less explicit or extreme, as it wasn't as clearly shown. Another spell that is used throughout the films that can be considered violent, although the spell is for self-defense, is Expelliarmus. This spell is used in all of the films, starting with the 2nd film. You can see how they are used throughout here.
Vengeance is...
Some uses of the spell are more violent than others due to the reaction and force of impact of the victim. The same goes for each of the spells observed in this study. Going back to the graph, you'll see other spells that were used repeatedly throughout the series. There may be some other self-defense spells that were used in this film series that could be included as violent spells, but I've only observed 30 total spells as a part of this study. As previously mentioned, these films mature with Harry and the audience as a result. So it would make sense that more spells are used as they are learned throughout the series, but increased use of violent spells in their context proves the sequel effect.
Lacanum inflammare.
Rictus Emperor!
Don't worry, completely harmless.
as Harry Potter is a child series, and so many other children film series and TV series do prove this sequel effect. We can expect to see a lot more violence in the media as time goes on, and in effect, violence in society.